What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video, because the AS Spanish newspaper, which is one of the most popular, one of the biggest sports newspapers in Spain, they are reporting that Liverpool are interested in signing Atletico Madrid's Jose Gimenez, who is an absolutely incredible, amazing centre-back. He had some injury problems this season, and that's why he has been, just a bit part player for Atletico Madrid. And it looks like that Diego Simeone has set on a brand new centre-back partnership, which leaves Jimenez in a very difficult situation where he might need to move on to get regular first team opportunities. So let's read this report, and also we have a big update on Virgil van Dijk potentially having a discussion over a new contract at Liverpool, which is very exciting news, and many other Liverpool related news in this video. So if you guys enjoy these, leave a like and subscribe if you are new to my channel. So this report coming in is a very big Spanish newspaper saying that Liverpool are looking at replacements for Dejan Lovren, and they identified three potential candidates, and that is Atletico Madrid's Jose Maria Jimenez, who is 25 years old, Inter Milan's Alessandro Bastoni, who is only 20. He doesn't have really the experience, I think, that is needed. And the third one, we already talked about that yesterday, Dijk Upamecano, the absolutely incredible centre-back who is playing for Leipzig at 21. So if you had a choice between these three players, who would you choose? Because of course Jimenez has a much bigger experience, both domestically in the Spanish league and also in Europe, where he played already 167 games for Atletico Madrid, and he actually scored 8 goals. He already has 8 goals for Atletico Madrid, which is usually 1 or 2 goals every season. This season he only played 14 games because of some injuries, and Jimenez, as I said, is 25, so that's like the perfect age for a centre-back. We signed Van Dijk when he was like 26, 27, and he just improved Liverpool so much. And I think Jimenez could be a starting centre-back because of his experience, and also because Joe Gomez, Matip and Lovren are all very injury-prone players. And Jimenez is from Uruguay. He is a Uruguay international. He also has a lot of international games under his belt, but he played in Champions League finals, he played in World Cup finals, and he already played 56 times for the Uruguay national team as well. And he has some silverware in his cabinet. He won the Europa League, he won the UEFA Super Cup, he won the Spanish Super Cup as well, and he played in 2 Champions League finals, but he lost both of them, So Liverpool are looking at, of course, bringing in a younger centre-back than Lovren to replace him, and Jurgen Klopp wants a defender who is commanding in the air as well as comfortable with the ball at his feet. That's what the report is saying, and Jimenez fits the bill on both occasions. The stumbling block for the Liverpool board might be his Atletico Madrid contract, which runs out in 2023. So he has 3 more seasons after this one, and a minimum release clause of 120 million euros. So if Jimenez doesn't really want to go, and if Atletico doesn't really want to sell him, then it will be very difficult to buy him up from a Liverpool's point of view, because of this big release clause that I don't think anybody would pay 120 million euros for a centre-back, no matter how good that player is. I don't think any centre-back is worth that amount. Stranger things can have happened in football. I mean, I never expected Liverpool to pay around 70 million for a goalkeeper or 75 million for a centre-back, but I don't think Jimenez is as good as Van Dijk, so I don't think he's worth like 70 million. I think more like 50, 60 million. That's the maximum that Liverpool should pay for Jose Maria Jimenez, in my opinion. But the report is saying that Jimenez, who was previously basically untouchable at Atletico Madrid, where he started almost every important game and every game almost, he lost that place because of injuries, and that opens the door for Liverpool, and that gives him an opportunity to say to Simeone, that I achieved a lot at Atletico Madrid, I want a fresh challenge and I want to move on. Because Gimenez endured an injury-ravaged season and he has managed just 16 appearances in all competitions. The most recent cameo came as a substitute in the Liverpool Atletico Madrid game. And that has allowed Stefan Savic, the former Man City defender, and Felipe to establish themselves as the main centre-back partnership for Atletico Madrid. And you know how much Diego Simeone wants his team to be solid defensively. So he probably doesn't really want to change that defensive partnership even now that Jimenez is back fit. But of course the football is on hold in Spain and in England at the moment, so that leaves Liverpool in a difficult situation where we don't know when the transfer window will be open, we don't know when the season will be finished. So if Liverpool want to sign any players, it makes it even more difficult to start negotiations, because you don't really know when next season will start, when this season will be finished. It's a very unique, unprecedented situation, but that's what everybody needs to deal with at this moment. So we shall wait and see what we can do. And I think that this situation that Jimenez lost his starting place may lead to Jimenez considering his options because he already had 7 seasons at Atletico Madrid. So he might want to experience something new, something different. And you know, the Premier League is the best league, the most exciting league in the world. And even players who are playing for some of the biggest clubs in Spain would love to see what they can do in the Premier League. So I think that Jimenez, if he had the chance to sign for Liverpool, he would take that opportunity with both hands, because at the moment, even though Atletico Madrid knocked out Liverpool in the Champions League, Liverpool are a better team and a better club, and we have a much bigger chance of winning trophies, titles regularly in the next 5 or 6 seasons. And Jimenez still has a good 5, 6, maybe even 7 years at the top of his game. So this would be the perfect time for Liverpool to sign him. And Football Insider is reporting that Liverpool are set to offer Virgil van Dijk a new deal because we want to tie down all of our players to big contracts, and he's set to be offered an incredible £50 million over the course of a new deal, which will probably last for another 5 or 4 seasons, and bonuses to be included will likely depend on him scoring some goals and also how many clean sheets Liverpool keep with Van Dijk in the team. According to this report, a source close to Liverpool claims that there is hope the new contract, which FSG once signed, sealed and delivered by the start of next season, whenever that will be, we'll see Van Dijk into his retirement. How amazing would that be if Van Dijk played at Liverpool until he retired, until he was no longer able to keep up his level? And I'm not sure if Van Dijk would want to go back to the Netherlands and play for one of the clubs there as like a pre-retirement season, which of course Robin van Persie did that. He went back to Feyenoord and he had a successful season there after he won the title with Manchester United. I think Van Dijk still has a lot of unfinished business at Liverpool. I still think he wants to win the Premier League, which I think he will do this season if the season is to be finished. Maybe he wants to win more trophies, I'm sure, with Liverpool in the next 3, 4, 5 years. And yeah, I think a 5-year contract would see Van Dijk at Liverpool until he's retired, which would be the perfect scenario. I mean, Van Dijk is widely regarded as the best centre-back in the world, and certainly he's the best centre-back in the Premier League. And I think it would be just perfect if Liverpool tied him down on a long contract, because of course he won the PFA Player of the Season, Player of the Year award last season, and he only finished second to Lionel Messi in the Ballon d'Or votes. I think this season he won't finish in the top 3 in the Ballon d'Or, because Liverpool will only win the Premier League, the UEFA Super Cup and the Club World Cup, and probably the player who will win the Ballon d'Or will be either Messi or a player who wins the Champions League and his domestic league. So we shall wait and see what will happen with that. And Ian Doyle is reporting that, and I'm very, very happy to say this, that Ian Doyle is reporting that Liverpool will continue to pay matchday casual workers for the 3 home Premier League games that are currently postponed. Payments on pro rata basis and roughly approach a total of £200,000 to £250,000 per match. They will be then paid again when the matches are eventually played, which is a great gesture from Liverpool, and this is what every big company should do. I heard the story in America that McDonald's, they don't have paid sick leave for all their workers, especially the franchise McDonald's restaurants, which means that the workers have to go into work even when they are sick and work, or otherwise they will just sit at home and get no money, and most of these workers live paycheck to paycheck, so they can't afford to like stay home in 2 weeks isolation and not work, because then they will lose their house, they will not be able to buy food or pay their utilities, and that's not a good scenario. And Liverpool are one of the richest clubs in the world, so I think they can more than afford to pay the workers this 250k per match. If you consider that like one player gets that every week throughout the whole year, that shows that Liverpool have more than enough to pay this. And I'm not saying that Liverpool should behave like a charity and pay everyone, but I mean, these workers are there every single home game. The home games are not played. That's nothing to do with the workers. They don't have an influence in this, so they are basically not responsible for any of this, and they shouldn't go and starve, and their families shouldn't go and have big financial problems, financial difficulties, just because the Premier League got postponed, because that's not any fault of their own. That's my opinion. So I think this is a very good gesture by Liverpool to do this. And the report is saying that Liverpool FC are committed to paying their staff during this break in play. All workers will be given their full wage for each of the matches that were scheduled to take place at home between now and whenever the season will resume. The problem, I think, is with outside contractors, because not all jobs can be done by Liverpool FC employees, so they use outside contractors for specialized jobs to do in and around the stadium, in and around the match days. And what the outside contractors do, Liverpool can't influence that. I'm not sure how many of those workers are there during each home game, but there must be some, and I really hope that Liverpool can work out some kind of payment schedule with the outside contractors as well, so even them, they should be paid by Liverpool, and they should pay their workers even when the matches are not played. And I mean, I heard, and I don't want to single out Manchester City by that, but I haven't heard any other news like this, but I heard that at Manchester City, when the workers, the Man City workers, the ordinary everyday workers who clean the stadium, for example, and the stewards and all the other workers who work in and around the Manchester City stadium, when they asked Man City whether they will be paid during this postponement of the Premier League season, they didn't get a proper answer from the management of Manchester City. I don't know if any of you guys can update me on this situation, but that is the case at the moment, and that I really am very sad when I hear stories like this. And also I heard a Scottish hotel sacked like 12 people, 12 staff, just hours before the Chancellor in Great Britain revealed that the government will subsidize 80% of all wages of all workers in the tourism and the restaurant industry, and they basically, those workers not only got fired, but some of them lived in worker accommodation in the hotels, so they were made homeless as well, just hours before the big announcement from the government, which basically made the sackings like totally pointless and it really is painful that in these times some people can lose their jobs, and as a consequence they can lose their house, they can lose their car, or they can lose, even some of them will maybe lose their families because of this, because there will be divorces happens, and I hate to say this, but there would be some suicides happening because of this situation, and it's really painful for many people. So I really hope that many big companies, and not just Liverpool FC, but many other like big institutions, football clubs, companies, whatever, they should try everything in their powers to really use their incredible financial resources and try to keep as many people paid even during these hard times as possible. So that's my opinion. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinion on this situation. And Pep Jimenez, the assistant coach of Liverpool FC, actually pinpointed what led to Liverpool having an almost perfect season in the Premier League, where we only lost like one game and drawn one out of the 29 games we played, which is an incredible record. And this is what Pep Jimenez told LiverpoolFC.com. The departments, how they evolved over the last 4 or 5 years at Liverpool FC, they all search for perfection, knowing that perfection doesn't really exist. See how our pitches are prepared each day by our ground staff. These things make us consistent. Each department is searching for and has the ambition and passion. I believe that only comes first from your leader, and second that it's trust, and everybody wants to give 1% more, and so the team is better prepared for the next game. I think we made big steps in this. A big compliment for each department. And Jimenez also praised Jurgen Klopp. He said, Klopp is very intelligent. His brain works differently to many others, that's for sure. Each day he surprises me, and we worked how long together? 4.5, 5 years. He changes perception in 5 minutes. We really feel that we are a team. We prepare together, we plan together, we act together, we coach together. I'm responsible for the training process. Peter Krawiec is really responsible for the analysis of the opposition and the analysis of our team, and all the ideas that Jurgen Klopp has and the way he wants to set up and be competitive in each game. We just try to support him in the best way possible. 3 brains can do much more than 1 brain. And if the 3 brains think in a common way and have the same messages and same passion and same dedication, that's the secret. If you are working with a team that everybody wants the same and understands the way we want to play and the way we want to develop on the training pitch, that's where you see this incredible development by Liverpool FC. And I'm really happy that he gave this interview, because I think that it shows that all the departments working together resulted in Liverpool rising up from finishing in 8th in Jurgen Klopp's first season. It wasn't a full season, it took over in October, and now we are 25 points clear in the Premier League. So that's, I think, a great way to finish this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.